Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will be sending a delegation to Washington after all. The trip could take place as soon as next week. His top officials are expected to discuss the country's possible expanded military operations in Gaza's southernmost city of Rafah. Netanyahu canceled talks that were planned for this week, upset that the U.S. did not veto a ceasefire resolution in the UN. I want to bring in now CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams there in Tel Aviv. So, Holly, talk to us a little bit about Netanyahu not only reversing this decision and deciding to send the Israeli delegation to Washington, but what it means overall about the relationship that the prime minister currently has with the president.
Hey there, Lana. Well, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was apparently angry, or perhaps is angry, that the US chose to abstain at a UN vote on a ceasefire resolution on Monday. Now, why is that significant? Why might Israel be angry about that? Well, remember, previously on several occasions, the US used its veto power at the UN Security Council to shield Israel from ceasefire resolutions. The US did not do that on this occasion. That's very significant. This is clearly a period of increased friction between the two allies. The US is still sending military aid to Israel. The US is still Israel's most important ally. But the US has also warned against a military offensive in the city of Rafah in southern Gaza, where around 1.5 million Palestinians are thought to be sheltering without a credible plan to protect civilians. Now, the White House said yesterday, as you pointed out, that it's working to reschedule that visit by a group of top Israeli officials to discuss those military plans. But look, it's clearly a difficult time in the relationship.
And Holly, are these talks expected to delay the country's expanded ground offensive in southern Gaza, or might that continue even as we're waiting for these talks to happen?
Well, look, Lana, there are plenty of reasons that Israel might delay or further delay the Rafah offensive. Concerns from its most important ally, the font of military aid, that's the United States. I mean, mounting international criticism over the war in Gaza and questions about the proportionality of Israel's actions. A new poll that just came out showed that 55% of Americans disapprove of Israel's military actions in Gaza. That's a 10% jump from 4 months ago. And of course, another reason is the 1.5 million, or roughly 1.5 million Palestinians who are thought to be sheltering in Rafah, and their lives, their survival. But on the other hand, from Israel's perspective, its stated goal in this war is to destroy Hamas. There are questions about whether that's possible or realistic, but it is the goal, and Hamas is thought to be hiding out in tunnels in Rafah. That creates the imperative to go in. Why do so many Israelis support it? Well, this country is profoundly traumatized by the violence that it experienced on October 7th. And remember that Benjamin Netanyahu is under pressure, not just from overseas, not just to bring the hostages home, but also from the right wing in Israel. He's a right-wing figure himself, but from people even further to the right are saying, don't give too much away to Hamas. Don't let them get away with this.
And we remember how difficult it was for him to assemble that coalition to keep himself in power. All right, Holly, thank you.